I don't remember any of it.
You don't remember?
For you, the day bison graced your village was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday.
Welcome to the Rated G for Gamers podcast, episode 149. Just a reminder before we start that you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Vero at Rated G for Gamers. You can always email us at info@ratedgforgamers.com. Please rate and review us on iTunes. We appreciate all the love. I'm your host, Dave Rotino. This is my co-host, Dan, the podcaster, formerly known as Classic Robinson.
What's going on, man?
Things are good. Things are good. How are you doing?
It was good. I had a good weekend. Mm-hmm. You know, I wanted to see Glass this weekend.
Oh.
I never got a chance to. First of all, that movie's like 2 hours long.
Glass, the sequel to Split, the sequel to Unbreakable.
There's a lot of sequels involved. Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
It's the trilogy. It's the trilogy.
Yeah.
I wanted to go see it. I still may go see it tonight.
Mm-hmm.
As of this recording.
Oh.
But the movie's 2 hours long.
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to fit it in because I was doing other things.
Right.
I just couldn't get a chance to see it. But I'm going to see it by next episode.
Are you? All right.
Well, I'm going to try to do it tonight.
So I'm assuming you've seen Split.
I've seen Split.
Okay.
Yes.
And I know you've seen Unbreakable.
I've definitely seen Unbreakable.
Okay.
You know what? Split, I didn't even know was like in that same universe until you watched the end of the movie.
Right. Because then they kind of,
at the diner.
Right. Spoilers. Bruce Willis shows up, and then it's like, oh, shoot. Like, he's his character from Unbreakable, right? And it ties the whole universe together.
It does. Well, they had to do the trilogy before Bruce Willis gets too old to be a superhero.
Yeah, right? He's like
in his 60s.
Yeah, he's getting old.
He's getting up there. It isn't all these action stars are still making movies, action movies.
Right.
Sylvester Stallone. Well, he said he's not going to be in any more Creed movies. It's over. He's hanging up the Rocky Balboa.
Is he?
Yeah, that's what he said. That's what he said.
He doesn't have any more script ideas, is what it is.
No, he said he's passed the torch.
To who?
Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, Michael B. Jordan to play the boxer. He's still going to be like the mentor.
No, he said he's not going to do it anymore.
Oh.
He said he's hanging it up.
Who's going to be the coach?
They'll find somebody else.
Nah, you can't find somebody else. Rocky is quintessentially Sylvester Stallone.
I haven't seen any other. I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger hasn't been in any more action movies, right?
No, he hasn't been in much.
No, he's reprising his role as the Terminator for the reboot.
They're doing a reboot?
Yeah, a reboot. This is the second reboot.
How am I out of the loop on this?
Yeah, no, they're doing the second reboot. They're pretty much starting. They're scrapping every other
except for the first two, right?
Except for the first two,
of course.
So it's gonna be the third one, even though we already had a Terminator 3.
Terminator Regenesis Restart Reboot 2019.
So it's gonna be Terminator 2 Judgment 3 Part 3.
Yeah, right. First Blood Part 2 2019. Yeah, well, all right.
Well, the reboot was supposed to reboot the series.
Right. Genesis, right?
Because he aged.
Right.
He was a robot that aged.
Right. They had to work that into the story somehow.
I got to be honest, I didn't think Genesis was that bad. I thought it was okay. Okay.
I just want to know. The words that you said. It's not that bad. That's all. I
went to the movies to see it.
You didn't say it was good. It's not that bad.
You know what?
It
was pretty good.
Okay. All right.
It was pretty.
I honestly, I actually haven't seen Salvation or Genesis, so I shouldn't speak. I don't know.
You know, they rebooted everything after 2.
Mm-hmm.
They keep going back to 2.
2 was great. It was a masterpiece.
The director is coming back. His name
Cameron.
Yep, he's coming back.
Cameron.
Yeah, he's coming back to direct.
Okay, so now there's some hope.
So I mean, he left after 2.
He did, yeah.
And he's coming back. So
he had a fallout with his. I think he was married to. I can't think of her name. Who played the the lead?
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And I think that's why they split and why they didn't want to do those movies anymore.
Well,
yeah.
she wasn't in 3 either.
She wasn't in 3. No.
Yeah, she was dead. in 3.
That's right. Yeah, I think they made reference to that.
Yeah.
3 was okay.
No, 3
Had a great scene down the highway when they're in the cherry picker.
3 was bad.
That was cool. It had some good action scenes, is what I'm saying.
3 I mean, it had some good action sequences.
That's all I'm saying.
I like the ending.
Mm-hmm.
I like the ending of 3.
But they end up like setting off Skynet
and they set off Skynet. It's over. They think they're racing to this old hub, right? This old underground bunker, thinking that they had this is where they could turn off Skynet. And it's like, no, this is where you could survive,
right,
and fulfill your destiny.
Mm-hmm. But I thought they set the missiles off after that. Am I wrong?
No, the missiles went off.
Oh, they did.
They
okay.
didn't set it off. Skynet set it off.
Skynet
the war started.
Mm-hmm. And it was like that was just like a place to be like, well, you can live here if you want to, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
Man versus machines. It's coming. They have AI. There was like AI that beat the world top Dota player or something like that.
StarCraft 2.
Yes.
Which is an amazingly complex game in its own right. It was Google's AI. They're like Deep Blue, I think, or something, or maybe that's IBM. Well, they have an AI, and it beat players at Go, which is like the original version of Othello with the black and white pieces. Right, you put a piece down and then you flip over other pieces and whatnot. Very, 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 very complex. It beat that, and then they're like, we can do better. We can do better. We can take on the top StarCraft players,
and they beat them.
They did. To the human players' credit, they did beat the AI like once or twice. So
they're coming. It's coming. Skynet taking over through video games.
It's all right.
They're taking over through video games.
Listen, I will be happy when my robot overlords come and
of course you will.
And take over.
Of course
I won't have to clean anymore, Dan.
Oh my God. You traitor to the human race.
Listen, whatever. If it makes my life easier, it's fine.
Traitor to the human race. All right, let's get into it. Mm-hmm. This is the last episode in January, so let's get into the notable games that are coming out next month. Mm-hmm. What are the February games? Mm-hmm. All right, so start February 1st. Mm-hmm. We got Ace Combat 7, Skies Unknown. That comes out for PC. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. Who says I don't like to talk about PC games?
You only put that on there.
For you.
Yeah, they put that on there for me. I understand. I understand. Do you have Ace Combat for the PS4?
I do not have Ace Combat for the PS4.
Because it has VR support. I'm very interested to see how that would be flying a jet fighter in VR.
Well, you know what? In VR, we can get on a skateboard and go down a cliff. Mm-hmm. We can go into F-Zero. Mm-hmm. Not F-Zero.
Wipeout.
All
right, and go into futuristic hovercraft. Yeah.
Wait, anti-grav hovercraft. Gran Turismo.
Gran Turismo Sport has it, sure.
And now we can fly airplanes.
Now we can fly airplanes.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a good time we live in, Dan.
Well, screw you, AI. I can fly that plane remotely through my helmet,
right?
Safely at home,
right?
All right. No one dies.
That's right. Yeah, you don't want to be Iceman, right?
No, I don't want to be Iceman. We got Blaze Blue Central Fiction coming out for the Switch, February 7th. I have the Blaze Blue. I already have the Blaze Blue game. Mm-hmm. Right? I don't know why they always put out like different versions. Like this is the same. They had the tag team tournament or whatever. That was the other Blaze Blue game.
There was Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle. Yes, I think right, which had a bunch of their different properties.
But they came out for PlayStation 4.
4, I think. Well, maybe it was 3 too, but I think it's also on PS4.
Yeah, and it came out for the Switch, and now we get the other version, Central Fiction.
Right.
We got Civilization 6. Gathering Storm that comes out for PC February 14th.
Right, it's a new expansion. I'm not 100% sure what's in this new expansion, but the Civ expansions they're always a good time. I like remember with Civ 5, there was a lot of stuff that was missing from it. Right, they didn't have any religion in the game. Right, they got rid of a lot of the cultural stuff and whatnot, and then the expansions kind of brought all that back. So I'm curious to see what's in it. Yeah.
All right. So we talked about what was it? October 27th? right?
It was a while ago, yeah. Oh, you're talking about the last year.
D-Day of 2017.
That's right. When we had Mario Odyssey come out, when we had Wolfenstein 2 come out, and we had Assassin's Creed Origins come out, all on the same day.
All in the same day.
And Stranger Things Season 2.
That was D-Day.
That was D-Day.
That was, I think it was October 27th for 28th.
D for delivery? What's the D stand for?
I don't want to say.
We'll go with delivery. Delivery.
Yeah. In air quotes, delivery.
Sure. I would have called it V-Day for video games.
Destruction Day. I don't know.
Destruction Day. Oh boy.
Destroying my wallet, right?
Yeah.
Now, February 22nd was supposed to be that of 2019. Everybody wanted to move out of the way of Anthem and created a new D-Day. And February 15th, because now we have Crackdown 3 coming up for Xbox One and PC.
Right.
Metro Exodus coming up for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. And Far Cry New Dawn. Or I like to call it Fallout Far Cry New Dawn.
Right.
PS4, Xbox One, and PC. All coming out February 15th. And Jump Force. 4 games I want to check out.
Talking about the cross tag battle, right? Jump Force is all the shonen cartoons and whatnot, right?
I just want to play as Goku.
Yeah, well, you get that, and you get like One Piece and a bunch of other stuff. I think it's a lot of really cool stuff. Everyone wants to be Goku.
I just want to play as Goku.
Yeah. Now
we'll be buying all 4 games, by the way.
Of course,
I would be buying, and I can tell you right now, I'm gonna obviously Crackdown. I'm just gonna buy it on Xbox One.
Yeah, well. It's only on Xbox. Well, you don't have a PC.
I don't have a PC. Metro Exodus, I was going to buy on Xbox One, but now I'll be buying on PlayStation 4. Far Cry, I stick with Far Cry on Xbox One because I buy all the Far Cry games on Xbox One. And then I'll buy Jump Force because I love having my fighting games on my PS4, so I'll be buying that from the PS4.
Sure.
Now, none of these games come out on the Switch.
Right. Well, that's interesting, too. But didn't we, I know we talked about Crackdown moving its release date up.
To get out of the way of Anthem.
Right.
Well, first of all...
But wasn't Metro supposed to be on the same day, too?
Metro moved out of the way as well.
They're like, we're not going to go up against Anthem.
They didn't want to go up against Anthem. They all moved out of the way of Anthem and ran right smack into Jump Force and Far Cry. I think...
Jeez, I mean, you can't get away from it, right?
You can't get away from it.
Christmas 2 is alive and well, folks.
Oh, my God. Stop it.
I know how much you love that, Dad.
We're going to be talking about
Christmas too.
Christmas too.
Fun note about Anthem real quick is so if you pre-ordered it, they had like a beta this weekend, and apparently within like the first couple of minutes, all the servers went down because they just got overloaded. Right? It's not a good sign.
Not a good sign. Sign of the apocalypse, I told you.
It's a sign of something.
Skynet taking over.
I think next week is going to be the open beta for everybody, even if you haven't pre-ordered it. So we should definitely get on that. Yeah.
All right, let's get back. Yakuza Kiwami finally comes out on PC. You can pick that up right now for PS4 if you want it. That comes out February 19th. Anthem, as we said, PS4, Xbox One,
February
PC.
22nd, which has the Friday all to itself now.
Has the Friday all to itself. Let's see what it does. And lastly, we have the Lego Movie 2.
The most anticipated game of 2019.
Well, maybe in February. Who knows? PS4, Xbox One, and the Switch. Finally, we get another Switch game.
Right?
Other than the Blaze Blue.
Yeah.
February 26th.
Yeah.
This is a little weird that not a lot of, big-time Switch games. Right? I didn't see any big-time Switch games coming out in February.
Right.
We still may get a surprise direct. At the end of January. You never know. We may get some surprise Switch games. So, Dave, now we were talking. You said you had this big unexpected pickup. Talk to me.
I did, Dad.
Because I had some good Lukey pickups. Thank you, Lukey Games. If you want to sponsor the show, we're
by all means.
By all means. I use my Lukey points. I actually used the last of my Lukey points yesterday of some games that I'll get. I'll talk about it when I actually get it next week. But Dave, tell me, I did not look at any of the posts on IG that you posted yet. So tell me all the games that you picked up.
Oh boy! All right, I'm gonna run through these quick. I'm gonna try to at least. And I guess I can start off with the story. The local GameStop up on Utica Avenue. Well, not Utica. Well, I guess like Utica and Eastern Parkway or whatever, right? They're a good GameStop. There's definitely some good people in there. There was a box of rando PS1, PS2, and like a Wii game or two, and some Dragon Ball VHS that was subbed in this like box that they were throwing out. And I'm like, what's up with that? So I asked the guy like immediately, like, what's going on with that box? He goes, oh, you can take it. It's just it's somebody tried to bring some stuff in, and we weren't able to take it back. It's not on the system, or we already have too much of it, and we don't need it. So I'm like, all right. So like I got a bunch of stuff from there. So everything's kind of mixed in, but I'll just kind of go.
They were going to throw it out, not even donate it?
No, the guy didn't want it. He just wanted to get money for it.
That's ludicrous.
He must have had a ton of stuff, because this is the stuff they didn't take.
Yeah,
and it was like a big old box.
This is ludicrous that they wouldn't just give it to Goodwill or something for collectors. They would just throw it away.
I know, right? Well, I mean that's like the whole thing. Someone's got to take responsibility for these retro games, right, and give them a good home. Right, Goodwill is the way to go. If you don't want to sell them online and try and make money off them, because that takes a little bit of work, a little bit of hustle, it takes time. Give them to Goodwill, right? And then Goodwill can make money off them, right? It makes sense. So, in no particular order, I picked up Resident Evil 2. Sorry, Resident Evil 2, the remake.
Wait, that was a part of the box?
No, I wish.
Yeah, you paid for that.
I paid for that. I picked that up on Friday.
Okay, good.
Tearaway Unfolded, Crafted Edition for the PS4, Dragon Crown Pro for the PS4, Life is Strange After the Storm for Xbox One.
Good game.
I know you love the Life is Strange.
I do.
I bought a second copy of Heavy Rain because I haven't updated my collection. I looked online. I'm like, I don't have Heavy Rain. I do have Heavy Rain. So I have an extra copy of Heavy Rain.
I have like I have the Heavy Rain by itself. I have Heavy Rain bundle with something else, the compilation, and I even have the compilation with what was the other game that they came out with? It was Heavy Rain and something else for I have it for the PS4.
Not the Indigo Prophecy. No,
not Indigo Prophecy. No. It was they made Detroit Become Human. They made Heavy Rain. It was another game that they made.
Yeah. I mean, I know what you're talking about. It's on the tip of my tongue.
It's like right here, and I can't even say it. Mm-hmm. Beyond Two Souls.
Beyond Two Souls. That's right. With what's his name? The two actors. Right. They got some big name talent for that game for sure. So also got Darksiders for the PS3, Rushdown for PS1. So now we're getting into the free stuff. There's Rushdown for PS1, Resident Evil 2 for PS1. Funny enough. Right, WWF Warzone for PS1, Greatest Hits Edition.
He probably said, "I don't need the old one.
I'm just gonna go get the new one." Yeah, that makes sense. NBA Live 2002, NBA Shootout 2000, Champions of Norath, EverQuest Online Adventures, and Online Adventures Frontier, FIFA 19, Borderlands 1 and 2, and Guitar Hero Aerosmith sealed from Goodwill.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Sealed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You almost never see that in the wild, but they must have had overstock from somewhere. And
didn't they do a stupid stunt to promote Guitar Hero when they put a bunch of guitars? They had they put I don't know how many, a few hundred guitars, fake guitars all together, right, into a ball and threw it into a volcano or something like that. I've seen that online.
Really?
I've seen that online. It was like GameRank's top 10 stupid.
Oh my God!
Ways people promoted games.
Right. Oh, it's weird. I did not hear about that.
Yeah,
I did not hear about that. Probably not the best promotion that they could have done. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. So, what about you, Dan? What would you pick up this week?
All right, so I used my Lukey points. Okay, I mean, I had to buy some of the stuff, but I used some of my points. All right, so since Mortal Kombat 11 is coming out, I took a look at my collection and said, I don't have every Mortal Kombat game. I still don't, technically.
There's a lot. There's at least 10.
There's
about to be 11.
There's at least 10. I didn't get some of those, the Xbox version, right? It was like a Liu Kang edition, and there was like a Shaolin edition. I don't know.
Well, there was a Shaolin Monks game. If that's what you're talking about.
I have that. That's part of the pickups. But funny enough, I had Mortal Kombat Trilogy as a kid. And it was one of the games I forgot to go rebuy when I first got back into collecting. I totally forgot I had it. I thought, in my mind, I had it.
Right.
So when I was looking at Mortal Kombat games, I was like, Mortal Kombat Trilogy, I haven't seen that in the collection in a while. I looked, I don't have it. It got lost. Obviously, I don't know, it got lost or broken over 20 years. So I had to rebuy that. So I got Mortal Kombat Trilogy for PS1.
I used to have that for the PC. It was a great game.
Great game. I have Mortal Kombat Advance for the Game Boy Advance. Mortal Kombat Unchained for the PSP. Mario Party 9 for the Wii. Again, you had to use my points.
Yeah. Not a bad, not a great game either. It's not a bad game.
Well, people said that the Mario Party series went down, starting with 9 and 10.
Right. Well, that 9 was like
that was the start of the car. It was like jumping in the car, right?
Yeah, it was a bad idea. Well, that was after the company that was doing them up until 8. I want to say it was Hudson. I believe then they got bought out by Konami. Right? Konami owns Hudson. Hudson was making all the games. So I think they may have done it in-house or had a different developer do it, which is why the car thing kind of came about, and it was just
Well, I have
bad idea.
I have Mario Party 8, 9, and 10 right now, and Mario Party DS. Those are the only Mario Party games I own. Not a big Mario Party fan. I have no nostalgia for it. Never played it as a kid.
Right.
I never got it on the 64 or anything like that.
I will tell you this: whenever we play Mario Party, whenever me and Joe play Mario Party, right? Joe, former guest of the show, he was on a couple episodes back and whatnot. We always play Mario Party together, and whenever we play Mario Party together, and Joe is very good at video games, right? I will say this: I always come out the winner on top.
You must cheat.
No,
cheat.
Not at all. Not at all. It's just like it's fate. It's divinated from the heavens that I will win at Mario Party, and it's fantastic. Because Joe gets real upset because he's like, "Come on!" The game is not all about skill.
Right, so let me ask you this: Is Mario Party similar to like 1-2 Switch?
Minigame wise, kind of.
Kind of. Okay.
Yeah.
So I own you in 1-2 Switch. So that means
we played it one time.
We've played it twice.
No.
I own you.
Don't try and math your way into this.
So that just means
it's divinated from the heavens. I'm sorry.
By default, I will own you in Mario Party.
Divinated from the heavens.
I will own you in Mario Party. It just makes sense.
I will get all the stars. You will have negative stars.
I will own you.
You will have negative stars, and that's not even possible in the game.
It's all right. It's all right. I own you in the mini.
We played it. We played it like one time.
Twice. We played it twice.
Okay, we played it twice.
We played multiple mini games twice.
We had one session of 1-2 Switch, is what I'm saying.
And I own
you beat me a couple of times.
You won once out of like 50.
All right, whatever. We didn't play 50 times.
All right, 49.
All right. Anyway.
All right, 49. All right. Back to my pickups. I got the original Mortal Kombat for the Genesis. I picked up the Genesis version. Lukey points. Thank you.
The good one.
Well, you know what? I would have got it for the Super Nintendo.
It just you punch them and they throw out dust.
No blood.
It was dust.
No blood.
Yeah. They would sweat. So dumb.
I got Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks for the Xbox. Ratchet and Clank Future Tools of Destruction for the PS3. Claymates for the SNES.
Claymates. Wow.
Yeah. It was like, was it Spelunker for the NES. Nightmare Creatures for the N64.
Nice.
Rampage 2 for the Game Boy Color. And I have a white Wii U, right? So of course I need a white Wii U Pro controller to go with it.
Why not?
Of course.
All on your Lukey points, right?
No. I paid for the Pro controller.
Okay.
With cash, and I bought Mortal Kombat Trilogy and a Mortal Kombat Unchained. Everything else was with Lukey points.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay, so I would have never thought to buy Mario Party 9.
Yeah, right.
I was just going through all the games because it's not every game you could buy with points. They have select games that you can use your points on, and a lot of those games I already have. So I was like, oh, I don't have Mario Party 9. It's free essentially, right? I'm using points. I got to use the points.
There you go.
So I use the points.
No money down.
No money down.
So
go ahead.
I love it. No, I love it. All
right, so Dave, as we always try to start the show but epically fail, what have you been playing?
We're only like 23 and a half minutes in. It's not too bad this week.
It's not the start of the show.
It's not too bad, but you're right. It is not the start of the show.
We epically failed.
We did. We were doing the track and field triple jump, and we already crossed over the line. We fell
no idea what he's talking about.
We fell in the sand.
I have no idea what he's
talking about. Come on now. You ever remember playing those old track and field games where you mashed the button button, and then you got to like jump at the right time. And if you miss it, if you miss the jump point, you just fall flat.
I was too young.
Fall flat in the face.
I was too young.
You were 2 years younger than me.
You were in high school when
you
Reagan.
You must have Alzheimer's.
You were in high school when Reagan was president, so you remember those games that were crushing your mind. I was like 5.
I hope somebody does tries to do like a timeline to figure out how old I actually am because based on all Dan's touch points, none of it makes sense.
Listen, sometimes I forget how old you are.
It's like the DC universe over here. It's crazy. Yeah. Nothing makes sense.
It's like WWE. It's just the continuity just doesn't go together.
Okay, so to answer your question, Dan, I have been playing Resident Evil 2. Surprise, surprise.
You've been playing. How do you like it?
I love it.
You know,
I love it. You know, we're gonna get into it.
Why don't we just get into it right now?
Let's get into
a review roundup. Of Resident Evil 2. Mm-hmm. All right. Apparently, everyone loves this game.
Yep.
I have an issue. I haven't played it. I haven't bought it. I played the.
You have an issue already, but you haven't played it.
I have an issue already. I've played the demo, the one-shot demo.
Yeah.
Okay. I couldn't even make it 30 minutes because I don't like spooky games.
Right.
All right. As soon as the stupid monsters came out, I was like, I won't play this. I won't play this anymore. I think I made it like 15 minutes.
It's too much.
I don't like spooky games.
It is a little scary. The atmosphere is good.
That's why I like Resident Evil 6. Mm-hmm. Okay, I like
because it's all run and gun.
It's all run and gun. That's what I want. Give me a Doom type Resident Evil. And we're good. Okay,
you basically want Doom.
I basically want Doom. Well, I want Doom in the Resident Evil world.
Okay, I can see that. I can see that.
So, Metacritic scores: PS4 91 and Xbox One 91. All right, IGN gave it a 90. A lot of people just gave it perfect scores like PlayStation Lifestyle, Xbox Achievements. God is a geek. I thought he was a nerd, but he's a geek apparently.
Sure.
They gave it a perfect
Semantics.
score. But there was some outliers. Okay? There was Games Radar gave it an 80. Okay, and surprise, surprise, I love to pick an outlet that I never even knew reviewed games. The Washington Post.
Yep.
Reviewed Resident Evil 2 remake, remastered, and they gave it a 70.
Yeah. I was very curious when you posted up these review scores. I was like, why? I think they took umbrage, like, because we have kind of the story on it. I think they took umbrage with the story itself and how it kind of takes a backseat to the gameplay, which. Fair. I mean, the Resident Evil story and the kind of the voice acting and kind of everything that kind of comes together. Like, the story is not the greatest part. Like it's like cool, like the backstory and all that, but it's not Citizen Kane, right? I don't know what the Washington Post is expecting. It's a schlocky horror video game, right? The gameplay is tight, right? The gameplay is tight. I love the gameplay. It's the same engine as RE7, right? So it has that going for it. It has the beautiful visuals and whatnot, and everything's kind of redone. Most of the puzzles and whatnot, I think, are all like fairly similar to the original, right? The way it kind of plays out and like where you have to go from point to point is all fairly similar. But they kind of rework some stuff that didn't work in the original. Like they got rid of the tank controls and all that stuff. And now it's like over the shoulder, just like RE7, So I don't know. I disagree with the Washington Post. Like I get what they're saying that like hey the story's not that great and whatnot. It doesn't really lend itself. Like it's really about the inventory management, navigating the game world, finding all the stuff and looking for clues and looking at like the posters on the wall and the writing on the blackboard, because that could be like a key to opening up a treasure chest or I guess like a safe in this case, right? Or like a tumbler lock that gives you like a bonus gun or something like that, right? Like that's like really where it's at, So I don't know. Like I think it's a solid remake. Like I'd give it like a 85, 90. Sure.
Well, what don't you like about the game? Why? What makes it not? What prohibits it from being a perfect game or 100 in your mind? What would they need to do for this game to be 100?
I mean, I guess like if you want me to nitpick on it, the things that the Washington Post said do kind of make sense in that respect. The dialogue's a little bit goofy. Like the roadblocks that are in place are a little bit weird, right? Because you can't like really jump over things unless they want you to jump over something, right? So they have to like construct these barriers in a way. It's like, oh, this car turned over. Oh, and now it's on fire, right? So you can't get by it, right? Which is like, I mean, I understand. But then there's other times where like there's a fence and I can't just climb the fence because that's not what they want you to do, right? So they like put this roadblock in the middle, which is weird. Like you have to use this specific item on this particular section to get past it, right? Which is kind of like, you know.
Well, I'll tell you this.
Okay.
The reasons why you don't like the nitpicking, the reason why you don't like the game, lends to my issue. Mm-hmm. My issue is people they love this game, and I've heard people talking about this so far. This is their game of the year, and I take umbrage with that because this is not an original game. This game came out 20 years ago.
Well,
this is not a new game. This is an old game.
You're not wrong.
This is an old game. An old game cannot be nominated for game of the year. This is essentially a remaster remake of a game, right? Now, all the issues you have are the ways that they would, sort of navigate you through the world in 1998.
Sure. I mean, it's definitely not like Breath of the Wild where it's like, you can do whatever you want to accomplish whatever you want to do, right?
Yeah.
The open world thing really wasn't a thing.
This is a remaster remake of a 20-year-old game. Mm-hmm. So they weren't going to stray away from some of the tropes that how it made it a linear story.
100%. Yeah, 100%. So I get all that, which is why it's an 85-90, and not 100. But it's also the reason why it's not a 70. Like, it doesn't really detract from the game, but like if the ultimate RE game would be like RE with like Breath of the Wild style gameplay.
Open world
where like you have an objective and you have to get there, and like you're like, well,
you can do anything you want. You can go anywhere you want. You can jump any fence, go in any house.
Right. Like, I need to get over this thing. Like, how do I do it? And it's like, well, you could climb over, or you could use like your wire cutters to cut a hole in the thing, or you could do a number of things. You could shoot the lock with a shotgun or whatever, and like that would work because it makes sense in the real world that like you could do that.
And that's probably Resident Evil 8.
Maybe that would be awesome. I would be about that.
It's probably RE8 coming out for next gen.
Yeah, right.
A launch title for the next gen consoles.
Hopefully.
I'm still not buying it. I'm not going to buy this game for.
Well, you don't like horror games. I don't like horror. It's understandable.
I'll buy it when it's in a bargain bin.
It's gonna be a while.
In the holidays it'll definitely be like $30.
You think it's gonna be $30 next year?
No, I think it'd be $30 this year when it's in the holidays. Black Friday, it'll be $30.
Black Friday, $30.
Buy Resident Evil 2 remake.
Maybe on a Black Friday. Yeah.
$29.99, and then I'll pick it up and never play it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll try. I always try to play it. I played 7.
Yep. Yeah. For like an hour.
I played it for a solid 2 hours ish.
Congratulations! I hope you got your $60 worth out of that game.
I did. Thank you very much. I did. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Well, I definitely can't fault you for giving the old college try.
I give it the old college try. You know what else I'm gonna give it the old college try?
What's that?
Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah, that is launching or releasing, I should say, next week.
That is. The review's already out. Mm-hmm. I couldn't get a Metacritic score for the Xbox. Mm-hmm. No one's reviewing it on the Xbox.
Right.
I will be picking this up for the Xbox because it's the same reason why I got Monster Hunter World for the Xbox.
First game on the Xbox.
First game on the Xbox. So I'm going to be picking up the Kingdom Hearts on the Xbox.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it was almost exclusively on PlayStation and Sony consoles, right?
Well, no, it was exclusive.
Almost exclusively
on PlayStation home consoles and Nintendo handheld consoles.
Well, right. They had stuff on the GBA and the DS, and I think maybe even a 3DS version.
Yes, they were 3DS, DS, GBA, and then Sony they had their own for the PSP.
Yeah, and they were all different games. They weren't ports in that way, right?
Yeah.
Like Chain of Memories and Recoded and
my God, let's not get into the
and 358 over 2 days or whatever.
They had 1.5, 2.5
the compilations,
2.8.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
We're not going to get into all that.
But the PS4 Metacritic score as of today is 89.
Mm-hmm.
This game is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't really find any outliers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, US Gamer gave it a 90.
Mm-hmm.
Game Informer gave it a 95.
Mm-hmm.
Games Radar 80. GameSpot 80 and IGN, who I got to say, the guy who reviewed it for IGN, I really wanted to hear his review because he was a huge Kingdom Hearts fan. I mean, when he first got to IGN maybe like a year or two ago, maybe 2 years ago, all he talked about was Kingdom Hearts, and he loved Kingdom Hearts, and he wanted Kingdom Hearts 3, right? So I really wanted to hear his score, and he gave it an 87.
Wow.
He thought it was really good.
I'm surprised there's no hundreds on this list.
No one gave it. Yeah, I couldn't really find anybody who gave it a perfect score.
Right? Because it's a game that's like 10 years. It was over 14 years in the making since like 2004 was the last mainline Kingdom Hearts, right? The last numbered Kingdom Hearts. And I figured like everybody loves Disney, everybody loves Square. The fanboyism would be like through the roof, so it'd get like extra bonus points for that. But
one of the things he said was Kingdom Hearts 3 avoids Kingdom Hearts 2's notorious mistakes of a long, slow prologue.
Oh yeah, there was like 3 hours to get into that game, Kingdom Hearts 2, before the like first title screen comes up, right? To tell you that you're playing Kingdom Hearts 2, which is weird.
That's a little weird.
I don't know why it takes that. There's a lot of exposition. I mean, there's stuff you're doing and you're running around and whatnot, but yeah, it is very much a slow start.
Well, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna buy this game. I'm gonna give it the old college try to see if I can even understand it.
Yeah. Oh, you won't. You won't. The game is ridiculous. The story is ridiculous.
I said I was gonna try. Well, I said I put it in the queue to play. Right, the Kingdom Hearts story so far for the PS4. And I just never got a chance to play it. It was just Super Smash Brothers, Red Dead Redemption. Super Mario Brothers Deluxe.
There's a lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff that came up. I just never
one-shot
got a chance.
demo Resident Evil.
The Dark Side is 3. I had to give it, the old college try. That's still. I want to actually. I really like that. I like the game. I didn't really love it. I liked it. I want to play that. And in Golf Story and stuff like that came out.
Sure.
So,
I will say this. I'm gonna prepare you and temper your expectations for what the story is gonna be. The main character of 1 and I think some of 2, Sora, has no less than 5 people living inside his heart. Yep. Dan is stunned right now.
His heart? What are you talking about?
There's 5 people living inside his heart.
How can anybody live in his heart? What are you talking about?
This is Kingdom Hearts. This is Kingdom Hearts. The whole thing is bananas.
He living in a heart? What?
They're living inside him. Yes, Sora has no less than 5 people living inside his body.
Is he like a schizophrenic?
No. They're like trapped inside. It's weird. They're like the actual people who are like trapped inside.
What's the key for? What's the key?
Look, I can't tell you how the whole story goes down.
Why can't they just have a sword? Why do they have keys? Because it's Disney. They don't want Mickey Mouse with a sword.
Sure, yeah. It's cute and whatever, and like the Keyblade unlocks like certain things and get you to different areas, right? So I don't know. It's bananas wild.
Interesting.
But, yeah.
Okay. Interesting. My jaw dropped a little bit. I was like,
I know. I was. Yeah. Dan's like you're messing with me, aren't you?
Schizophrenic?
I'm like, no.
All right.
I don't know.
All right. What else? What else have you been playing?
Oh, well, Red Dead 2. I'm rushing to the end of the game, like literally rushing to try and beat that game. And I thought I was close, and it turns out there's even more to the game. So there you go. I'm like, it says in the story progression 89.1%. I'm getting there.
You're almost there.
I'm getting there. Okay. Yeah. I got another handful of missions, I think.
I'm still at like 12%.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
I'm still at like 12%.
Oh, my God. I want to talk to you about all the stuff that happens, but I can't.
Oh, get out of here. You know what? Every time I want to talk to you about God of War, I want to talk to you about everything else.
Well, we both beat that. We can talk about that
now. We can talk about it.
I know.
You never want to do a spoiler cast. I want to do a spoiler cast of God of War.
We could do a spoiler cast of God of War now.
So...
Dan's like, nah. Time has passed.
I don't want to talk about it anymore.
All right.
So I've been playing Golf Story. Never thought I would get into an RPG about golf.
Right? Never thought there'd be a RPG about golf.
But, people are talking junk about me, right? And saying they could beat me with, And I'm like, no, let's go 3 holes right now, brother.
Uh-huh.
Right? Uh-huh. And I dominate them.
Right.
Right? And I don't even know how to play golf in real life. I'm still learning. I have no idea what I have no
when you're on the green, use the putter.
I don't even know how to switch between the putters. I don't even know if you can switch them because I dominate. Well, the whole point is to learn how to get better, and you have to force them to teach you by showing them like, hey, I could beat you, and you have to like do missions and stuff and try to earn money that way because no one's going to train you for free.
Right.
So that's how you level up by
Interesting.
getting money. Mm-hmm. So
you get to play a full 18 holes, or is it like?
So far, I haven't played a full 18 holes. I didn't even know you could play 18 holes until just now. But so far, it's just been people have been challenging me to 3 holes.
Okay.
And
We're building up to the big match.
Let's build up to the big match. And let's not say that again. I don't want to say 3 holes, 18 holes, how many holes. That sounds weird. I'm sorry.
All right.
I'm sorry. All right, so I've been doing that. I've been playing the heck out of Let's Go Pikachu.
Oh, the game you were sour on last week. You were kind of like
sour. I said I only played an hour, so I couldn't.
Yeah, and I asked you like, "Are you going to keep playing?" You're like,
maybe not. Right, maybe, but I give it a fair shot.
Well, good on you.
I'm using the Pokeball. Mm-hmm. I think I've captured a lot more Pokemon in this than I did in Let's Go.
Mm-hmm. You got 1 in Pokemon Let's Go.
Squirtle and my sink.
Yeah, you just spent 2 minutes in the game. Jesus.
Now I spent at least collectively maybe like 3-4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I've when you go into the forest, because you get lost in the forest, everybody wants to battle you.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just battling people, leveling up Pikachu and all my other Pokemon.
Right.
I captured like 8-10 Pokemon.
Nice.
So just leveling them up, learning different, just learning different moves and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. So you're digging it.
It's better than I thought it was. I haven't faced a gym leader yet. Mm-hmm. You have to.
Yeah, there's at least 8, I think.
Yeah, you have to face the gym leader. I haven't faced the gym leader. I've just been mainly doing exploration.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think I'm just gonna go down the main story path.
Mm-hmm.
But me and Pikachu, we doing, and you can like rub the Pokemon. You can rub. You
can pet them. You mean?
You can pet them, rub their head, and pet them, and feed them. You have to just to
level them up, probably.
Or level up and build like relationship, build like a relationship with them.
Interesting.
I will say using the Pokeball, which I don't think I'm gonna keep doing, is a little weird because it's like essentially holding a Joy-Con.
Right.
That's shaky, a shaky Joy-Con.
Right.
And I'm trying to pat them.
And if your hand's going all over the place.
My hand's going all over the place. So
that's funny.
So I think I'll stick to the Pro Controller.
Mm-hmm.
So far, I haven't played with the Pro Controller yet, but
right.
I will. I think I'll start.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I've been playing that, and I fired up the Wii. I've been playing New Super Mario Brothers Wii, and I gotta say, I was wrong.
Stop the podcast, folks. This is a monumental milestone right here in Rated G history. Dan Robinson is admitting that he is wrong.
I'm never wrong.
But you just said I was wrong.
Except for now.
I was wrong.
And listen.
Well, then you're not always never wrong.
A broken clock is right twice a day.
Oh. Okay. So, which means you're wrong.
So I got one more time to be wrong.
Which means you're wrong a million other times during the day, and you're only right like twice a day. I see.
I got one more.
That's what you said.
I could be wrong twice.
I need to start taking a tally on the big board. We have a whiteboard here, and it's severely underused. I need to take a tally of all the times that Dan Robinson.
Then you don't need it. Then you don't need.
I would need to get another whiteboard.
You don't need a magic marker then, because I'm good. I'm never wrong. Except for down. The level design is so good.
It is.
All right. I beat the game. I beat the Wii game
way back when,
whenever it came out. And I beat the Wii U game in 2012 because it was a launch title on the Wii U. Right. So when I played New Super Mario Brothers Deluxe, New Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe, it brought me back semi nostalgia when I played it in 2012 when I first got the Wii. And I was like, you know what? I really like this. This is a really good New Super Mario Brothers game. But I was wrong. I played New Super Mario Brothers Wii, and it's vastly superior.
The Wii version better than the Wii version?
The level design is better. It's more memorable. It's just memorable. Like, I'm clamoring to go back and play it.
Yeah.
I want to go back and play it and beat it. When you get the helmet, it feels...
Oh, the propeller helmet.
The propeller helmet. It feels... Like oh, okay. It's like when you first learn that the mushroom, turns you bigger, right? Levels you up, right? It's like, oh, you learn. Oh, okay. I get that feeling when I got the propeller. I hate the stupid raccoon suit. I never used it. I thought it was stupid.
Not a fan. Yeah, okay.
Not a fan of it, right? I don't like the way like you float and stuff. I don't like it. Just doesn't feel right. Mm-hmm. I'd rather just bring the cape back. If that's the case.
Oh, the cape was one of the best power-ups.
They wanted to do something different. I guess.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So I gotta say, if you get a chance, if you have a Wii U,
I do.
Backwards compatible. Just go buy New Super
It's still
Mario Brothers
hooked up.
Wii.
It's still hooked up. I have to dust it off.
This game vastly superior.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll take it.
Real quick before we go to break, we talked about Resident Evil. Did you know that they're coming out with a Netflix series?
I did not. That's
it's in the works.
It's surprising. We've had 6 movies, all starring Mila Jovovich,
and only the first 2. Well, the first one was
only
great.
Only the first one. Only the first one was good.
The first 2 was okay. I mean, the second one was okay. The third one,
Right.
I can avoid zombies in the desert in the daytime.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't actually see past the third one. I remember we went to go see that in the theaters way back when. It was a fun action movie, I guess, but it wasn't a good movie. Yeah.
Well, what would you want from a series, like a TV series?
I would want it to be good.
It would have to be. It would have to be sort of told in 2 tales, right? Where to me, if I was making a series, it would be all right. Here's a zombie apocalypse. All new people. We don't know any of the other than Wesker, right? We don't know any of the.
Sure, we wouldn't have Leon or Claire or Rebecca or Jill.
Yeah, bring me somebody new. Bring me somebody past them. Like,
sure.
The apocalypse has already happened.
Sure.
Right, and you're trying to figure out whatever your survival, right? And then maybe you'll see a zombie, and it'll remind you of someone in the past, and then we take a look at the past of how it all started, right? Maybe how the Umbrella Corp started. Maybe they wanted to start with good intentions, and then it got taken over and became a corrupt corporation. I got into BioWare, right? Like it's coming out with bio weapons.
For good. Yeah.
And
then everything goes
bad.
Everything goes sour.
Everything goes sour.
Right? Did these weird experiments. People started getting mutated, and then zombie apocalypse.
That's what I want.
I'd be down for that. Paying attention to the source material and following the game lore as opposed to the movie lore, I think is the way to go.
No, I don't want Mila Jovovich.
No, and I don't think she'd have anything. I don't think she should have anything to do with it.
I don't want this to be the Resident Evil cinematic universe.
No, same.
No.
Because they didn't add anything good to it. They were fun popcorn movies, sure. First movie was a horror movie, and then they all went off the rails after that.
Number 5, they ended number 5 with Mila and everybody standing on top of the White House with all the aliens, not aliens, all the zombies and monsters coming at them all at once.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
All right, why don't we take a break? When we come back, we get into the top 10 gaming news of last week. And we're back. Let's get into the top 10 gaming news of last week. Let's talk about Google. We talked about Google and their Project Yeti like over the summertime, right? There was like a streaming service. Everybody's getting into the streaming business. Right? It's the wave of the future. Streaming games.
It is.
Verizon wants to get into it.
That's right. We talked about that last week.
Google wants to get into it. But there's rumors of Google not just wanting to get into the streaming business. They want to get into the console business. They just like Xbox or Microsoft. They wanted to be in the living room.
That's right. They want a box in the living room.
Google has the money and the resources.
They do.
Right.
They do.
Just like Microsoft did once upon a time. I mean, there was they even hired. We talked about this when we talked about the Yeti. They even hired a former PlayStation executive.
They did. Yeah. Which is good moves. Xbox hired the guy who made the Dreamcast internet service, right?
Yeah.
They hired somebody who has been in the business, who knows, who kind of knows about, in this case, like the online infrastructure and whatnot. In the case of Google, they got a guy from, PlayStation, a high level executive, kind of knows the business. They're hiring a pro, so, they're making the right moves, right?
But what do you think about the code name for this new Google console?
Wow.
that they're working on internally. Metallurgy.
Okay. You know.
It's not sexy.
Metalworks.
It's not sexy. It's not Scarlet.
It's not Scarlet.
It's
not Dolphin.
It's not Dolphin.
It's not Revolution.
It's not Revolution.
But again, you know, it's a code name for the thing.
It's not the NX.
It's not the NX.
It's not the NX.
Yeah, I mean that's probably the worst thing about all of this, you know.
Well, they're also, what happens when you want to get when you went into the console space? You need exclusive games, right?
Why play this game on this platform? Why even buy into this platform, right?
Well, apparently they're looking into actually buying IP, and there was a rumor out there they were trying to buy Metal Gear or some IP from
Konami.
From Konami.
It's not a bad move.
I don't think that's going to happen, though.
It's not a bad move. No?
Listen, Konami, you know how much money they make off those pachinko machines?
Well, I mean,
they could just
sell the video game rights. Pachinko games technically aren't video games. They're gambling machines, you know. It's a different space, technically.
Yeah, but if you own the IP, like if you own, let's say you own Gears of War, right? You don't want somebody else using Gears of War for some pachinko machine.
Yeah, you know, I suppose you're right. You want to protect the IP and you know whatever it's being used for. So, yeah, I mean it's not a bad move on Google's part to say let's take an already established franchise and just port it over, and then maybe like poach some developers and whatnot, and then boom, there's your studio.
Yeah, but they're working on some new games. We don't know what type of games they're actually working on. I mean, they could be
anything.
It could be anything. It could be just mobile games, right? I mean, that's where the money is if they're in this, you know, for the cash.
Oh, they certainly are in this. Certainly are in this for the cash. You know, Google does a lot of funny things, and they put out a lot of services, and they'll devote time and money to a lot not
even named Google anymore. The parent company.
Alphabet
Google,
is the parent company. Yeah.
Alphabet is now. Well, it is. Yeah, Alphabet is the company now.
Right, and
then Google, and then you go down. Now it's Alphabet.
Right, and there's different structures of. You know, it's you know, it's all kind of weird. Don't be surprised, though, if Google gets into this and then a couple years down the line, they just cancel the project because they do that to a lot of their projects.
I'm still waiting for my Google Glass.
That ain't happening anymore. Like, that got shut down. Google Buzz, Google Wave, Google Plus, as we talked about.
Google Plus. You love that.
I did.
You were like, screw Facebook. I got Google Plus.
Google Plus was great, man. It was Facebook without all the noise and cruft and whatnot.
I'll take the noise. Give me the noise.
Nah.
Bring on the noise.
Well, they couldn't hang. And then they had the data breach, and they're just like, oh, no one's using this service anyway.
That was it. No one was.
And that was it. Yeah, I know.
All right. Well, speaking of Microsoft, I mean, the thing that saved Microsoft and the original Xbox was Halo.
If they didn't have Halo from Bungie, like talk about acquiring a studio, right? They just picked up Bungie.
They picked up Bungie because Halo was supposed to be on Mac products.
That's right. Yeah. That's 100% right. It's supposed to be an online multiplayer game, head-to-head, humans versus aliens. You know, and then they reworked the whole thing with the single-player campaign.
Now so we have Master Chief Collection. 343 is teasing something new for the Master Chief Collection at the South by Southwest. Right, that's coming up. I think that's in March, if I'm not mistaken. What could that be? The only thing I can think of is it could be maybe they're gonna Master Chief Collection coming to PC. Maybe
that would be big news. You know,
or Reach. They're finally releasing Reach
as like an additional DLC thing or whatnot.
If you already have a Master Chief Collection,
right?
They had ODST as DLC,
right.
I
mean, there's not much.
If you already owned a Master Chief Collection, it was free,
right?
If you bought it, I mean, if you didn't have it at the time, you have to buy it separately.
Yeah, I mean, it's really either a PC port, which I would probably lean to say that it's a PC port because having new DLC for a game that's like 2 to 3 years old is like not a big splash, you know. But porting it to PC, where a lot of people haven't, you know, Halo 3 and 4 have never been on the PC. 1 and 2 were, and then they just stopped after that for whatever reason. So, you know, that wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, no offense to PC players, I kind of just rather see Reach.
Here it comes. I'm trying to go in and try and soften the blow. I'm going to say something awful right now. No offense, but...
All right, no offense, guys. You have Ace Combat 7.
Coming out February 1st.
Coming out February 1st. All right.
That's funny.
So give me Reach for the Master Chief Collection. Give me Reach. I want Reach.
All
right, let's get into our lead story.
Let's
talk about
sad
Nintendo.
news.
Let's talk about Nintendo. Is it really sad? Let's talk
Sad
about Nintendo.
news. Well, okay, it's bittersweet.
They came out of nowhere with Metroid Prime 4. It's now being scrapped. The reboot, well, not the reboot. The whole project is being scrapped and redone from the ground up by Retro Studios.
Right.
The original makers
of Metroid Prime.
The Metroid Prime series 1, 2, and 3.
Right. So let's take a quick step back. We heard first rumblings of it E3 2017 where they had the
logo.
The end of the conference, I think, right? And it was just Metroid Prime 4 and it was just the logo.
In development.
Right, in development. Everyone got excited, everyone stood up, they were cheering. It was like the best thing since sliced bread, right? And then nothing. No news for like almost 2 years, right? A year and a half, I guess. And now we get a long video on YouTube, right, from the director apologizing and saying, "Yeah, this we have to redo the whole entire game."
Well, he was the senior managing executive officer of Nintendo, apologizing, pretty much saying that they're scrapping everything that's been done, and this was their first attempt of having multiple studios. Like Namco
Bandai was
Bandai Namco
yeah.
was one of the studios was one of the studios working on it, and then there were other studios unknown that were also working on it.
Yeah, I'm curious what that other studio was.
One day, 5-10 years from now,
we'll figure out.
They're going to data mine something. It'll be a leak, and we'll see what that game was, right? And we'll be like, wow, that could have been cool, I guess.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I heard they were like trying to like do a third person thing and whatnot, and
it's something different. It's different.
I mean, it's different.
Come on, Metroid Prime 4. You want to do the same thing? You're the one that always tells me innovate.
You want to be in the visor. You need to be in the visor.
Why? Why do I need to be in the visor?
Because you get all the heads up displays and the whatever, and you feel like I am Samus in the suit, right? Well, it's super cool.
Okay. So Retro, Nintendo didn't just scrap what was being done and give it to Retro.
Right.
So Retro is rumored to be working on a Star Fox racing game. Right? So that I'm sure that's probably why they didn't give it to them in the first place.
Right. They had prior obligations.
They have already had another project they were working on for Nintendo. They came to Nintendo with a demo of what they think Metroid Prime 4 should be. Nintendo probably loved it so much, and so the development of Metroid Prime 4 but other studios wasn't working out so well that they just decided to scrap it. Now, they had to come out with this, or we would get more questions. Or where's Metroid Prime 4? Where's Metroid Prime 4? Where's Metroid Prime 4? Especially if we get a direct.
Oh, yeah.
At the end of the month.
And there's no news.
And there's no news.
Right.
So they probably wanted to get ahead of this and say, listen, stop asking.
Oh yeah. No, it was
canceled.
It was the right move because everyone was questioning like where's the footage? Like why don't we have anything yet?
It's one of your predictions. You're like, we're gonna get footage of Metroid Prime 4.
Well, yeah, it was about time. They can't just keep stringing you along as a fan.
Well, technically, they haven't been stringing us along because they haven't said anything.
That's true. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think we're both on the same page that this was the right move for Nintendo to do. I think it was all the fans seemed to rally around Nintendo, and they're like, you know what? Take time, get it right.
It got a lot of likes. The video got a lot of likes.
It could have gone real south.
I say good on them. This actually makes sense. I rather don't put out the game and it not be good, and that could have been like the nail in the coffin.
Well, I mean, they did that with Other M already. That was it's terrible. They handed it to another studio. They gave it to Tecmo.
Well, no, you say it's terrible. I say it's just different. They wanted to do something different with it, and they did do something different.
And it wasn't, but it still wasn't good.
It wasn't what you wanted from a Metroid game.
I mean, if it wasn't a Metroid game, it would be a perfectly adequate game. But that's not what I wanted a Metroid. I want excellent, not adequate.
Yeah, but that's the problem. Again, we go back to this problem with gamers, where we say, "Hey, this is what this game should be instead of loving the game for what it is. I don't mind Resident Evil 6. It's a shooter game in the Resident Evil world. That's what I want. I don't want a scary, spooky game. They can still make that, but they can do something different and give me Resident Evil 5, Resident Evil 6, where I'm doing more shooting.
I'm fine with them taking risks and kind of whatever else, but there was some flaws in that game. There were some fundamental flaws in that game.
That's fine. And if that game wasn't Resident Evil 6, well, the main reason why people didn't like the game is because it's not spooky, survival horror game, because that's what they said Resident Evil should be.
They went too far with it.
If Resident Evil 6 was just called, Shoot 'em Up 6 or whatever, whatever, Corridor 6.
Sure.
People probably would have thought it was a fine game.
Well, there you go. It can be. I'm not saying to not do that, but it has to be done right, right? It's like, it's like taking Mario and putting him on a surfboard. It's like, you better know what you're doing with that IP, because fans are going to be in an uproar. Like, I'm with you, I'm with you in the company taking chances, but you have to do it right.
But here's the thing: Mario on a surfboard is not a mainline Mario game.
Well, it doesn't matter if it's mainline or not. If it's going to be a AAA title, if it's going to be an Odyssey level AAA title, and Mario on a surfboard is your main mechanic, it better be good. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, what do you want? Do you want a survival horror game, or do you want an open world game? We just talked about Resident Evil, right? Yeah, we said, hey, maybe Resident Evil 8.
You could do an open world survival. You could do an open world survival horror. I just like in the case of Resident Evil, I just want more. I want more options. I don't want to be tied into well, you can't go here yet because that will break the game. I want to be able to hop the fence if it makes sense within the game's world and the physics to be able to hop that fence, right?
Gotcha.
All
right. Well, let's shift gears. Let's talk about Metroid Prime Trilogy. I've been beating this horse for so long.
Yes.
Metroid Prime Trilogy.
Yes.
Let's go. We have to have it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a rumor. There's rumors out there that Metroid Prime Trilogy has been done for a long time.
Right.
I mean, essentially, side rumor is Nintendo has all their ports that they want to do for the Switch. They're done and they're lined up, ready to go.
That's
fascinating. Like New Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe has been ready for a long time.
Right.
They just decided to release it.
Right, because it's got to be at the right time, right?
Yeah,
it's like, time. Oh well, we need some new games to come out. It's the beginning of 2019. Here's a port. It's been enough time. That makes sense. So, I'm surprised that they're able to do that so effectively.
So the rumor is Metroid Prime Trilogy has been ready for a long time, and it was supposed to be shown at the Game Awards. Mm-hmm. But I think what we hear now that Metroid Prime 4 has been essentially scrapped and going to be retooled from the ground up.
Right.
Maybe that's why they pulled it from the Game Awards.
Right. Interesting. Right. Because then they're like, we don't want to give you this good news and then a month later give you the bad news because things aren't going well.
Well, they want to give Metroid Prime Trilogy at the right time. Like you want to strike when the iron's hot, right? You don't want to put Metroid Prime Trilogy out and then 4 years later we get a new Metroid Prime 4. Right, you want to put it out, and maybe a year or two we get Metroid Prime.
Sure, yeah. Well, I mean, hopefully it comes out in a year or two.
Well, I don't
want to wait 5 years.
Well, I don't think now that it's being scrapped and being retooled, and I'm sure they'll use some assets here and there. Mm-hmm. We're looking at another 3 years.
It's going to be a long development cycle, right? Yeah.
So let's say we're in 2019. They just started 2019, 2020, so 2021.
Oh my God. We're gonna have the PS Prime, the Xbox Prime will be out by then,
and the PS5 will be out by then,
and also the PS5,
and we'll have
probably a Super Switch,
and a Super Switch. We'll definitely be hearing about the Super Switch.
So yeah, I mean,
Metroid Prime 4 is gonna be the last hurrah for the Switch, and maybe, and just maybe, a Breath of the Wild style last hurrah for this. Last of the.
No, I just like how that sounds.
It's the last hurrah for this console and the launch title for this console, right? And we're all
God,
we're all gonna want this on the Super Switch.
A Metroid launch title would be fantastic. That'd be awesome.
You would love that.
I would. So I mean, I think I disagree, but I think what you're saying makes sense. I'll say that.
I don't think you disagree. I think you just don't want that to happen.
Well, I mean, I want Metroid Prime coming out this year. The Metroid Prime Trilogy coming out this year now, Because now I need something to play, right? If 4 is not on the horizon, like, I'll take a remake.
I think this delays Metroid Prime Trilogy for a year. I think we hear about it next year. It comes out in 2020. It's ready, apparently. And it's just a Wii port, right? Essentially.
Well, I mean, it's going to have better graphics. It's going to have better graphics.
Well, upgrade, but it gives them more time to tinker with it, right?
Sure. Yeah, they put a little more of that Nintendo polish on there.
So I think this is more of a 2020 game and not a 2019 game.
It's so far away, Dan.
So far away, but right there.
Right.
It's 2020 is coming. It'll be right around the corner. All right. So let's get into. We talked about the Wii. Mm-hmm. Talk about the Metroid Prime Trilogy being a Wii port. Mm-hmm. This week, when the show goes live, we'll say rest in peace to the Wii shop. It closes its doors forever. Mm-hmm. This is the problem with the all digital world.
Sure.
There are some games that you can only, as of right now, only buy on the Wii Shop that you can't buy anywhere else unless you want to go get an old system and go to a retro store.
Right.
This takes a lot of time and effort, all digital world when things like this go away. Mm-hmm. Because you don't own the game.
Right. You own the right to play that game on that online service. Right. Yeah. Or on that system for as long as it exists. You don't know how many times I've bought a mobile version of Tetris. Every single one of my damn phones, I buy a new version of Tetris because Tetris is awesome. But none of those purchases carry over. So
you don't know how many times I bought Mario, Mario World, Super Mario 1. It's either World and 1. I buy it everywhere.
Right. Fantastic games. You're going to pay $2 here, $5 here.
I dusted off the Wii to play New Super Mario Brothers Wii.
Right, you mentioned that at the top. Yep.
I dusted off for a reason. I dusted off because I wanted to actually just explore the Wii Shop because I've never gone on a Wii Shop, ever. All right, and I was thinking about buying some games that you can only buy on the Wii Shop.
How'd your experience go down? Because
you can only use points? It's ridiculous. I can't just buy the game. It's points.
No, of course not.
It's points.
Of course
not. It's a point system.
Back in the day, the Xbox and Xbox 360 had those gamer points or whatever, right?
It was
stupid. Credits.
It's stupid, and I'm glad they changed it.
Well, it was. I mean, it's just another barrier to getting the game that you want to play, and everyone kind of realized just make it $20, make it $10, and then you just buy it with your credit card, right?
Yeah.
Super easy.
Well, then now I know why we shopped.
Hell yeah! I mean, we've come far. Like you even said, you couldn't find the place to buy the points to buy the game.
There were games that were 6,000 points. One, I don't know how much that
right.
costs.
What's the conversion?
What's the conversion? And I couldn't even figure out how to even get the points. Oh. And when I finally figured it out, which took a while, I was like, "This is not even worth it. I don't even want to buy the points."
Right. So, we've come a long way. The digital marketplace, birthed by Xbox for all intents and purposes, right? Came out in 2002, I think, right? It was in the second year of the Xbox, and it's what 16, 17 years now we've been going. So there's been a marked amount of improvements to the to kind of the online ecosystem, I guess is the appropriate word.
Well, all right. So January 30th is the last day for the Wii Shop. So rest in peace. But all is not bad news with Nintendo. Nintendo Switch was the best-selling console of 2018 in the U.S. Not globally, but in the U.S.
See, here it is. I was just about to praise you for not posting PS4 sales numbers. And you had to asterisk it. You had to put an asterisk in there. You had to caveat it. Not worldwide, just in the U.S.
Not global. Just in the US.
Yes, because I wonder, Dan, can you tell me who holds the spot for best-selling console of 2018 worldwide?
I don't know. It could be the Switch.
It's probably the PlayStation 4.
Maybe.
They really
like their PlayStation in Europe.
I mean, of course. Yeah.
Crash Bandicoot and Spyro are always number one on the chart, top 10 in the chart.
In the UK,
yeah. Switch isn't doing, it's not doing gangbusters out in Europe.
Yeah,
obviously it's doing really well. It's doing
surprising.
It's doing really well in Japan. Vitas is still selling in Japan. I mean, like every
really
time
weird.
the NPDs come out, it's always like 2,000-3,000 Vitas being sold.
Who was buying these Vitas? What games are they playing on these Vitas?
Digital game.
I guess so. It's either that or the
they
limited
have
run.
No more physical games being released.
No, well, not by Sony at least.
No, not by Sony. Limited run. Maybe limited run's going crazy.
Probably, yeah.
Everyone's going crazy with limited run games.
Yeah, but
which
all
now
English
you can
releases,
buy.
though.
I think you can buy limited run games at Best Buy.
I know there has been some. Yeah, there has been
Best
some,
Buy.
which is awesome. You know, I'm about it.
So kudos to Nintendo. And people thought Nintendo was dead.
Yeah.
Come on. People thought Nintendo shouldn't be making consoles. Just be a software company. Get out of here. Get out of here. All right. Also with Nintendo, we got a surprise sort of mini direct. Well, Nindies direct.
Indie showcase. Yeah.
From Nintendo UK. It just came out. It was like no preparation or nothing.
Well.
Only 16. It was only 16 minutes. Now
Surprise to us.
Well, I like the fact that they focused on just a handful of games. Right? It was only 16 minutes. It wasn't like a 30-minute showcase of like 50 games or something like that.
Right.
A lot of things can get lost. Oh, I don't want to go over all the games, but a bunch of games you were surprisingly. Wow, you said you were really excited for. I was kind of shocked.
Yeah. What? Why?
I was kind of shocked that you were really excited. All right, so let's get into it.
I mean, I love the Switch, and and you do too. I think, right? You know, if you're gonna go ahead and play a game that's multi-platform, you're probably gonna play it on the Switch.
I'm probably gonna play it on the Switch. I can play it on the go.
Right. Exactly. So they kicked it off. It was really strong. It started off really strong. The two games, Wargroove and Double Kick Heroes.
No, Wargroove, I mean, that's coming out February 1st. It'll be out this week.
Yep.
This recording. Turn-based strategy game. You really like the art style. Well, you really like the art style of the cutscene.
Well, no, I mean, yes. Yeah. The cutscene definitely sold me, and then the game mechanics sold me even further. All right. So it's it's like a strategy game. You're playing an interesting. It kind of looks like a Super Mario World overworld, like a battlefield that you play on. Right. You can go to certain points and set your characters up, and then you go head to head against people. That looked super cool. And Double Kick Heroes, which won't be out till the summer.
First on Switch.
First
coming
on
out
Switch.
on all the platforms, but first come out first on the Switch in summer 2019.
It's a rhythm game. Where you're in a car as a metal band, and you gotta do the drum beat to the pattern on there, and then your car fires out bullets out the back. And oh my God, this you have to see the trailer for this. Watch the Nindies, because it has a rock and metal soundtrack with like some like big name metal bands in there, as well as some original tracks. I was sold.
But you know what I was sold on? Goat Simulator.
Oh my God. Goat Simulator, the goatie.
The goatie.
Right.
Well, all the DLC that's ever come out. Right? And it's out now.
Yeah. It's insane. I didn't know they had you can take your goat and do space battles. You can take your goat into like medieval times. You can play the original one where you're like running around town.
I played Goat Simulator on Xbox because it was like it was part of Xbox Live that month.
Yeah.
It's kind of ridiculous. But
it's
I thought it was
100%
fun
ridiculous.
just crashing the goat everywhere.
Right, because you use the tongue to latch onto things and you just go flying around, and like that's the whole entire game.
Yeah, no, I really like that. I also liked Inmost. Right, that's come out this year. That's like a puzzle platformer.
Yep.
Type of game. I thought that was really interesting. I like that game.
Yeah, the art style looked great. Like it just looked really moody. Yeah. I was about that too.
Also, Crosscode. It was like a 2D action RPG game. That's a game I look for. All these games are only digital only that we know of.
So far, yeah.
Right, the Nindies. They're not going to be.
I'm going to go ahead and say it now. Probably half of these games are going to get limited run physical releases or some sort of physical release.
Probably later on this year or early 2020.
Right.
That's usually how it goes.
Because they're doing Switch games
give
now.
it like 8 months and then it'll be.
I know that happened with Celeste.
Oh my god, I was holding out on Celeste to a physical version.
I know, and now we have the Messenger coming out as a physical release later this year. So, it's bound to happen.
That's not a limited run. That is
a special reserve games. But yeah, we're gonna get a physical.
Yeah. Check that out. Pre-order that. And they ended with like a new SteamWorld game, SteamWorld Quest, and it looks like an RPG card game.
Yeah, it definitely looked kind of cool and a little bit unique.
And that's coming out in 2019 at some point. No release date for that.
Yeah. So I mean, I tell you what, I think this was a pretty solid indie showcase. No,
you were really about it in the beginning, like the first part of it. You were really
it kicked off. Two games. It kicked off really strong. I'm like, all right, I'm in. Give me. Here you go. Here's all my money. I'll take them now.
You love Wargroove. Like I didn't know you were a big Wargroove fan.
I mean, it looked cool. It's my first time seeing it.
So I think the funny part, they had flying hedgehogs, right? Because Wargroove is out on other platforms,
right?
And I think they said Wargroove will come to the Switch when hedgehogs can fly. So that was the joke at the end of the
That's so
at the end
funny.
of that showcase when they had flying hedgehogs.
It's a little insider knowledge there when you go and watch the episode. That's very funny.
When we watched an indie showcase.
Yeah.
All right, let's switch gears. Let's talk about Bethesda. All right,
good old Bethesda.
Beloved Bethesda.
Beloved?
Well, you know what? Listen,
not as of late.
We got Doom.
Yeah, Doom was great.
Okay, we got Wolfenstein.
Wolfenstein was great. 1 and 2.
Yeah, you got Rage.
It's all right.
It's coming out.
Rage 2 is.
Rage 2 is coming out this year, right?
Sure.
People said it looks better than they thought it would. They thought it would.
Mm-hmm.
And you even said Rage 1. You didn't think it was that bad. You didn't call it good. You didn't call it good, but you said anything it was that bad.
It's not that bad. No. It was a perfectly fine game.
Perfectly fine game.
Yeah.
And we got the Fallout games until we got Fallout 76.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Fallout 76, what a debacle. I'm not going to get into it. We already know all the issues of Fallout 76. But there was a rumor out there that Fallout 76 could be going free to play.
Mm-hmm.
And Bethesda vehemently denies this. I think this is the good route for Bethesda to go with this game. Well, I mean, beta.
Really?
Because beta is really
It's still a beta. It's
finished.
a shit show online.
It's not finished. You're talking about Metroid Prime 4 being canceled. If you're mad at Metroid Prime 4 being scrapped and retooled, just play Fallout 76.
Yeah, right? This is what we could have had. We could have had Samus falling through the floor.
Falling through the floor of her own spaceship.
Yeah, seriously. So I don't know. I don't know if free to play is the way to go, because if they do that, that means they have to make up revenue somewhere else.
But it'll be microtransactions.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Call of Duty Black Ops 4.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You can buy a smiley dot for $2.
Yes, you can. You can buy a little custom reticle, which does nothing to just change. It only changes the reticle.
$2.
Yeah.
Talk about pathetic.
Well,
$2. They sell something that was free.
Right.
In all the other Call of Duty games. And all the other Black Ops games. For $2.
Why can't they just push that out as an update? Well, here's a little smiley reticle. Right? You kind of win the fans over.
But I think eventually Bethesda should come out with Fallout 76 as a free-to-play game. Not right now, because it just came out, right? You're still working out all the bugs.
I mean, you got to fix the bugs,
And wait until the actual game is like maybe $20, like in bargain bin, so I can pick it up, because it'll be like one of those. It's gonna be a rare situation, right? It was like, Fallout 76 is great now in 2022 on PS5 and Xbox Prime, and,
right,
and the Super Switch.
Mm-hmm. It's just like PlayerUnknown Battleground, right? Like,
the
game is like free to play, but you can also get a physical version.
Well, no, Fortnite. The Fortnite.
The Fortnite's the one. Yeah,
Fortnite's the one where the disc is like $100 now if you want to buy it.
That's insane.
Because when it first came out.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this would be a good move, but so far Bethesda's denying it. Right. But I think they should come out free to play eventually.
Interesting.
Just with Fallout 76.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's talk about From Software. It's always weird to say. Why can't they call it Firm? When I first heard about it, I thought you know how hard it is to say From Software? Like, this is the game from software.
Right. Yeah.
Why can't they call it Firm Software or something like that?
I don't know. Yeah, it is like a little bit weird. It's like From Software, what? From Software Developer? From, what's the name of the company? No. It's From Software.
They're From.
It's From Software. Yeah.
All right. There have been talks about their possibly remastering Demon's Souls.
Not surprising. That's right. Demon Souls kicked off the whole Souls genre, right? The kind of hard as balls, like 3D action game, right? You know, they've done Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3. Bloodborne is still like fairly new, so there's no reason to like redo that anytime soon. But yeah, I mean, like, why not? You know, why not?
I'll tell you why not.
Give it a fresh coat of paint.
I'll tell you why not. At all the Switch games I own, I did not buy the remaster. I did not buy the remaster of Dark Souls. I didn't buy the trilogy remaster of Dark Souls on the PS4 and Xbox One. And I played, I think, 3 minutes of the Dark Souls demo on the Switch and couldn't get past the first monster. I want to say.
Yeah, man.
And I was like, yeah, this ain't for me.
Yeah.
I'd rather play a Resident Evil game than play a From Software game.
I played like a half an hour of Bloodborne, and I couldn't get anywhere in the game. So I'm 100% with you right there. It's tough.
It's tough, and I'm not going to be buying this.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is one of those.
So Dan doesn't want the remake because he doesn't care about the game's not for him. He's not going to buy it.
You know what? I'm glad people love these super tough games, right? Not me. Not a Bloodborne fan. And I gave Bloodborne the college try. Like, I was determined. I spent hours, and I still couldn't get past that first level, right? And I refused to watch the tutorial. Maybe one day I'll watch a tutorial on how the hell I get past a walkthrough. Remember the tutorial walkthrough?
Right? Oh, this is there's too many games right now. Like to bring up something that Dan says all the time. #GMG, right? We don't have time.
I'm a G, baby.
We're all living adult lives. We have very limited time, right? You know, we want to play games, but we don't want to suffer, right? We want to get through these things and have an experience and the whatever. So
maybe we should rebrand Rated GMG.
Oh boy,
I think that can work.
I don't know about that, Dan.
I think that can work. Rated GMG. I think that can work.
I don't know about that.
All right. Last story. Machinima. I have fond memories of Machinima.
Yeah.
All right. With the guys from the No and Funhouse. Used to be Machinima. I used to watch them all the time on Machinima when they would do the news and and they would do these sort of like skits and stuff.
Right.
Machinima now got bought out by Warner Brothers. Well, it was another company that owns Warner Brothers. That Warner Brothers owns.
Yeah, I want to say like Otter Studios. Or
Otter
something
Studios,
like that.
yes.
They're the subsidiary of Warner Brothers, I think.
Yes.
It's a very interesting tangled web.
So they bought them and removed all the content that was on their YouTube channel and put it all behind a paywall. Right.
So looking at this story, like when I saw this story, I'm like, so somebody acquired Machinima. It's like, okay, that makes sense. But then they take everything down from their YouTube channel. It didn't make sense to me. But then, seeing as now Warner Brothers is the parent to all of this, right? Warner Brothers has their own streaming network and whatnot, right? They have a whole big thing, like a platform and whatnot. So I was like, oh, well, they want to add more content to the fold, right? So the Otter Media or Otter Studios has like Crunchyroll on there and, some other properties. And now they have Machinima on top of that. I'm like, oh, okay. Now this is starting to kind of make sense, right? They want to add more content. It's going to go behind the paywall, like you were saying. So
I think the last thing I like really look forward to at Machinima is when they did the actual live action Ryu and Ken.
Oh yeah, that was really good.
That was like in 2015,
something like that. Yeah, it was fairly recently. But you know what? Now you can't just go on YouTube and see it anymore.
I know. Well, they had an app on Xbox.
They did. Yeah,
I used to watch that. I think it was. Matter of fact, I think it was 2015 because I think I haven't watched it. I only got the app just for that.
Right, because it was that good. Yeah, it was. It was actually really good. But now you have to pay to see it.
Didn't they have a Halo podcast? I think they had a Halo podcast.
They may have. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there was no reason to have a Halo podcast after a while.
Right.
There's like no more Halo news that came out.
Right. After like 5, it's like, it's kind of it's gone a little dark. Yeah. I guess they could kick it up again and talk about the Master Chief Collection
coming on PC or Reach.
Yeah, right. It's one of those.
You want to think about it right now? I say it's Reach.
I say it's PC.
All right, we'll see what happens.
You want to make a bet on that?
We will.
You want to make a bet on that?
We will bet.
Want to make a bet on that?
We will bet, and one of us will be wrong, one of us will be right.
All right, pinky swear right now.
There
Shake Shack bet. Let's go.
I didn't say no. I said one of us will be wrong, one of us will be right.
This man. I know when he's wrong, and he's wrong. It's coming to the PC.
It's gonna be Reach, baby. DLC.
All right, folks. Mark our words. It is in the books. Episode 149. Dan on tape. Wrong, possibly twice in one episode. All right, possibly twice in one episode. So we shall see. Yeah, that's episode 149 of the books. We want to thank you guys for listening to us and doing all the good stuff that you guys do. If you want to interact with us, and we know you do, you can do so on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Vero at Rated G for Gamers. You can email us at info@ratedgforgamers.com. So please listen, like, rate, review, and subscribe. And as always,
keep gaming.